Well, hi, Flosstube. Welcome to Grandma's World. I'm Debbie. I cut some flowers this morning. We're in kind of the summer, what do we call it here? Summer dormancy for flowers in California. It gets hot, and I'm going to mess with the light here a little bit because I can't seem to get it right. We'll try that for a little while. It gets hot here, and the flowers stop blooming, and they kind of cycle through, and then as it starts to get cooler in the fall, they'll start blooming again a little bit, and it doesn't really stop except in the summer. Summer is our winter in a way. We just stop getting things. But I went out this morning to see, actually to plan what I'm going to do out there tomorrow, and realized I had a few things that I could cut and bring in, including this Barbara Streisand rose, which just smells so wonderful. I keep it. I don't usually go for these mauvey pinks, but my son pointed her out to me in a flower field, a rose wholesale field one time we got to chop in, and he says, if you want fragrance, Mom, you got to smell this one. And so I did, and I got it, and then I chose all of these other pinks to be with it in my front yard, just so that I didn't just have this one mauvey pink thing. So anyway, Barbara Streisand rose. This is a Gerbera daisy. A lot of people have a hard time with these here, and I think it's because they need to be divided every few years if they're going to keep blooming. And then I bought a couple of packets of zinnia seeds for the first time this year. I got these from Eden Brothers, and it's a collection called Exquisite. And it turned out that they all kind of went with Barbara there. My Shasta daisies are blooming. I didn't pick a lot of them because they're so pretty in the front. And then this is this poor broken thing. This is one of the plants that's going into a dormancy right now, and so it has stopped really blooming very much, but it's a native California buckwheat, and it makes these huge, or it did this year, these huge frothy collections of these pink, it's an ant, of these pink, it's almost like baby's breath to me, except that they're pink. So anyway, it was nice to bring some flowers in. And what's on top for that tomorrow, let's put that in like, quite not so much chair, I think. What's up for that in the front tomorrow is I have to go dig weeds again. I have certain areas where I want the alyssum to grow, so I can't put pre-emergent down. And now I've got lamb's quarters and spurge. The lamb's quarters are fine, it can keep growing, it's just that it's a really deep root, and if I'm going to dig it up, I have to get a shovel out, and I do like to dig it up because it's what my tortoises eat. So tomorrow I'll be out doing some catch-up weeding, assuming that it is not terribly hot tomorrow. I can feel already that it's going to be warm. In fact, I'm going to kind of push through this Flosstube piece because the sun's going to hit on me. I'm going to be really miserable. Any rate, it's World Flosstube Day. It's not. It's World Cross Stitch Day. I didn't know such a thing existed until the Flosstube community started talking about it. And my first thought was, I'm just taking a day of rest. I'm going to stitch all day. And this morning, as I started kind of thinking about that, I said, how about doing some Flosstube community stuff first? Because that actually felt like a good thing to do. And I don't have everything here I want, but that's okay. I'll catch up on it some other time. So, in my life, still going to my mom's 3 days a week. Had some fun week before last, and I don't think I've posted any videos at all the last 2 weeks. It's just been I've been too busy, and I hurt myself. I hurt my foot working in my yard, and so I've tried to shift gears and take care of some other things since I can't be out there digging, and consequently have not gotten very much done. But I have done my stitching every evening at 7. There's just something about taking a shower, washing off the day, putting on something comfortable, getting in that recliner. As soon as I sit in that recliner and put my feet up, it's like everything just goes away. And so I'm really holding on to that as things get interesting here. But a week or so ago, a little more than a week ago, I went on a fabulous whale watch. The blue whales have moved into our channel. In other seasons, they tell us they're lucky if they see one. If one blue whale comes and hangs out, they feel like they really have hit the big time. They're up to seeing now 30 at a time. And a blue whale is the biggest living creature on the planet. Where we are, they get to be about 100 feet long. And I will be working on my video. I got some good video of blue whales. To hear a blue whale, a whale of any kind blow is a thrill for me, but the blue whales are like trumpeters. Just, whoa, gave me goosebumps every time we heard them. So they're up to, the day I was there were a dozen in the area where we were. We interacted with 6 of them close up. And in the sequential days, as they have reported out, they put on a daily report on Facebook, and in the subsequent days is the word I'm looking for. They're now up to where they're kind of in a pod of 20 to 30 at a time. So they've called for a new. I didn't even know this company did this. Usually I take a 4.5 hour whale watch trip with them, but they will have occasionally 8-hour trips where they really go far out beyond our islands, and they're hoping that they'll be able to see some different things. This is very unusual to have this many whales in our channel here in the Channel Islands in California. And my theory is that it's because the cruise ships aren't cruising and interrupting the communication networks. And I think the whales are calling other whales to come and eat we have a lot of krill, a lot of anchovies here in our channels, and so I think they're calling them into the feeding grounds. So at any rate, it's been a thrill, and I signed up, and I was right there signing up for that 8-hour. So I haven't edited or posted that whale watch thing from last week. I'm redoing my channel. Apparently, I thought that I could mark individually what was made for kids and what wasn't. And apparently when I did that, marked some of my videos, mostly my Disney Hall videos, I marked them as made for kids. I can see kids getting into those and wanting to watch that stuff because I get a lot of plush and a lot of toys. And so I mark them that way, and I think it just tags the whole channel as made for kids. And so I don't get comments, and I think I inadvertently somehow set it up to where people can't comment. I don't know, and it's okay, but I want to fix it. I want to fix it so that it can be more accessible. I don't ever have plans to monetize it, but I do like the sense of community, and I would like to be part of that community. So I started a second channel called I think it's called Grandma's Inner Child, and that's where I'm going to put all of the things. Hello, don't leave. That's where I'm going to put all of the videos that are for kids, so that they will completely, Grandma's World will completely be the Flosstube and the quilting and the gardening and the what I call Grandma's Golden State, the whale trips and that kind of stuff will all be on the Grandma's World channel. Anyway, so today I'm doing a Flosstube, and I'm actually going to go in and edit it and get it posted. I'm going to go back and see if I don't think I posted the last one I did. I'll edit that and post it as well, and do some of the cleanup work that I haven't done. For example, the Magazine Monthly Challenge that Carolyn, Zook, and Robyn Hall have put together has been a lot of fun to see what everybody's planning to do. And I sketched out really quickly what my plans are for the year for that, but I haven't posted the chart and the and the work, the piece, the kit, like a lot of people are doing in their albums, and I've really enjoyed that. So I want to do that today. And I'm definitely going to be cross-stitching for a good part of the day, but I can't sit, even with my feet up, I can't sit that long, excuse me, without realizing I have to do something. I have to go take care of something. This morning I was going to get done before this, and got a Facebook note from a friend. She's getting ready to do distance teaching and needs a bookshelf. Well, I have a bookshelf I want to get rid of. So all of a sudden my day of nothing but cross stitch had this element of trying to set this up with her. And she's not coming until tomorrow, but there was still something to do besides cross stitch. And then I did go out to check and make plans for tomorrow, and realized that one of the plants I'm trying to get going, it's the vanilla strawberry hydrangea, needs water. It's not getting enough water where it is, and so I put the hose on it slowly to try to get it to have a good deep soaking. And then tomorrow I'll have to work with my watering system and make sure that it's getting enough water to get through the heat of our summer and fall now. Different topic. Getting back to stitchy stuff. Let's see, how do we do this? Finishes, no finishes. For me, whips, I have been working on the same two pieces. When I'm at my mom's, I work on this one, and it's time to move it on the Q-snap, so I went ahead and left it off for today. This is a By the Bay needle art design called Santa at the Seashore. And I call myself halfway done. That little piece of pine border with a fish in it at the bottom will be reversed on the other side of the snail. And then up at the top of her design, she has it says Merry Christmas. I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna flip this bow thing, this garland, upside down and repeat it up at the top. And then there's on this side, the other half now, there's a little, not like the nubble, a lighthouse, sandbar, waves, there's a little sailboat here. But the middle of that shell, the snail in the middle of that bow at the bottom pretty much marks the center of the piece. So I'm about halfway done, I'd say. Because that seahorse in the front is actually part of the second half, and all the waves are there. So anyway, this has been really fun to work on. It's fine to work on at her house. Our conversations yesterday got, I don't know, astrologically, apparently it was one of my favorite astrologers that I follow was go slow yesterday, and I didn't find that advice until I got home and the damage had been done. So it was nice that she picked up her, at some point we just realized that we were just going to keep button heads on things. So I stopped talking, picked up my cross stitch, she picked up her crochet. We spent the rest of our time together kind of quietly coming down. We didn't have a knockdown, drag out fight. We just couldn't have a conversation where we were meeting eye to eye on anything, and it was draining. I don't have a lot of energy for trying to convince people, even my own mother. And it's silly stuff like my progress on the front yard, and I found, I didn't bring it, but there was a really wonderful thing posted up on Facebook called The 9 Types of Rust. And when I went to look into it, I really moved. I thought it was really good advice. And when I went to read about it, it turned out that the woman who had posted it last year is an Enneagram coach. And I'm into the Enneagram. And so I was trying to explain, trying to explain to my mother, who doesn't really understand the Enneagram and doesn't really care to, and that's fine with me. This is something I do for myself. It just wasn't going to go anywhere. It wasn't going to go anywhere. By the way, if you're into Enneagram, I'm a 9. All that good stuff. All the stuff that goes with it. I'm interested that they all go together because I'm a Cancer with Cancer Ascending. I'm an INFJ. All of those, they all kind of describe the same person, and that person is me. So anyway, so much for that. Oh, I seem to have brought ants in with my pretty little flowers. I don't want them on my table. Anyway, so one of the things I'm going to do is look up my monthly challenge sheet and take those pictures and get them posted in my album so that I can really get into that on September 1st. Progress, that was my progress on what I work on at home. I've done in the last couple of weeks a little bit on this, and I don't know that I've shown it, so I'm going to pull it out and show it now. Maybe, here it is. So this is the Fabric Flare Witch's Sky, I think it's called, with the moon. And I wanted trick-or-treaters walking along the bottom of it with their little houses will be in there, and then the haunted house in the back with some bats right there up against that moon. And this is the garden scene that is in the middle of what I'm using. I'm using Teoduic's Trick or Treat, I think it's called Trick or Treat, bell pull, and a larger fabric for it so that it's going to turn out. It's still going to be little, which is what I wanted, but it's going to be a little different from hers. And then this one, over here in this garden, there's a witch standing there. So I just wanted to work on it for a while, and I said, hey, this is my rest time. I can work on it if I want to. So I did a little bit on that. And then, what else did I do down this is a haul. I went ahead and got these out for the monthly, the magazine monthly challenge. This will be the first one that I work on, and this was from Cross Stitcher magazine, October 2019. Our first month is supposed to be fall, but I kitted up over 30 projects for Mania, and I feel a real commitment to be working on some of those this year. So rather than go find a new, I didn't have anything kitted up that was simply fall. What I did have was 3 Halloween pieces, and this one that were from just one from a magazine was this one. I said, you know what, I'm going to push that prompt a little bit and go ahead and get some more work done on this one. I had my meaniest start on it, which is this. So I'd gotten part of the moon done. It goes around the, this is the corner. This is the corner, and it goes across the top, and the haunted house is here. So I would like to work on this in September as a fall piece, and then the theme for October is also a kind of Halloween related. So I'm gonna work on it for 2 months. I haven't set my goals yet. I'm not sure how that's gonna go because I don't want to give up what I am working on in the evenings. And I may only be able to work in the evenings, so we'll see. What I'd like to do is finish Santa by the Seashore at my mom's, so that if I could finish it by September 1st, then I could, if I finished it by September 1st, I could add another piece in to be working on in the magazine challenge at her house. And then this one is going to come later in there. I'm not going to pull it yet. And my nightly stitching is still Shores of Ga-Ron Hollow. And here is where I am. I'm making changes in it. I think I've explained before, I want this to be tribute to the trip I took this past fall to Massachusetts, to Cape Cod, and particularly to the Whydah Museum. The Whydah is the only documented pirate ship that's been found, and they're bringing the treasure up. And they used part of the proceeds from the treasure to create what's called the Real Pirate Museum on Cape Cod. And it is probably the best museum I've ever seen. And I'm a historian, so I've been in a lot of museums, but I was really taken by the how can I say it? This museum, it's not cute and dainty and prissy. But it is exquisite. The way that things are presented and the quality of the design is just phenomenal. It is just a phenomenal museum. And so I want this piece, when I saw the original story on this, I said, this really fits the story behind the Witta. And so I'm making a few changes in it so that it fits that story better. And I've gone through those in other videos, so I won't do them just to show but just will show the progress here. This piece, this block, is supposed to have two fish up here. As they are recovering the Witta went down in waters where there are great white sharks. So I took the two innocuous little fish out and I added a great white shark. Then I started to do this kelp, and I'm going to tell you, this is the hardest stitching I have ever done because of the way it meanders. And when I got to about this part here, you can see where my needle is here. This is last night's moving on. But I hadn't done the seahorse or the eel yet, and realized that by taking the two little fish out and putting in the great white shark, I had actually changed the placement for this kelp. So this week I added the seahorse and the eel. There's more kelp, a different color kelp down here. And then now I can go ahead and do the rest of this kelp. There will be little blue fishes in here. And I probably should go ahead and put, because there's two little blue fish here, I'm going to put another one in here. And then there is a whole group of them that's supposed to be down here, and I think I'm going to add another one or two here, maybe. But I can fill in now the rest of this kelp up in this area. I just love working on this. I don't want to give it up, and I don't feel any pressure to do it. This is part of my conversation with my mom. I was having the conversation about rest, and she was trying to convince me that that all I need to rest is to give up some of this stuff that I'm doing and that have deadlines with them. And I'm like, it doesn't have a deadline. All these groups you're in, and there are deadlines on these groups. And I'm going, no, there isn't. They're just for fun. But what I'm finding from the groups, like the Magazine Monthly Challenge, it helped me make some choices to get past my overwhelmment at the huge amount of stuff that I have to work on around here. So it isn't an either or for me. It's just, and it isn't a pressure. I don't have to do any of this, but I'm choosing to do it in such a way that brings me pleasure and helps me relax. What was this? Oh, this is another magazine one, and I've decided not to talk about that yet. I do have another piece floating somewhere. It's a schooner. It's part of a towel rack that's supposed to hang on the back of my bathroom door, and I keep forgetting about it, but I want to pull that out and work on it because I want to get that bathroom finished, so I want that thing on the wall. All right, that's no finishes, works in progress, and now I do have some haul because there's always haul. And I don't know that I think I showed this in the previous, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it, but this was the most my purchase from Ga-Ron Tottenbags, and I just love this fabric. And I've decided to keep all of my Magazine Monthlies things in this bag, just because I want to use it. And I don't have anything. I made so many project bags for Mania that I don't really need it for anything else. And then I'm a member of the club, of the Ga-Ron Tottenbag Bag of the Month Club. And this was this month's, or it was, yeah, August. This was this month's bag. And I'm not a big sunflower fan, but I love this fabric and I love the goldfinches. I'm pretty sure this is a Susan Wingate design. Which my mother and I both collect. But I feed the goldfinches outside my window, outside my bedroom window, and every morning I get to watch them. Right now we have another guest at the feeder. we have a field mouse. And I'm a Brambley Hedge fan. I actually never read the magazines, but in the United States we could get the collectibles. And so I have some dishes, and my mother bought me the little miniature Royal Doulton tea set, and I have a quilt top and that kind of stuff. So I went looking, and it turns out the Miller, which is my last name, his name was Dusty Dogwood. So I call this little field mouse that gets on the Niger feeder Dusty Dogwood. And Dusty Dogwood married Poppy Eyebright. And I had a second little field mouse on there with him for a while. And about 2 days ago, I was watching them, and all of a sudden a scrub jay came swooping down up on the fence and then down and tried to catch him. And I had to look, I thought scrub jays ate peanuts and seeds. I didn't know they ate living things. And sure enough, they do. They eat fish and they eat mice. I haven't seen Poppy since then, so I'm not sure how that little drama is going to work out. All right, so those were the most recent bags from Ga-Ron. Then my mother gave me this. She mistakenly ordered 2 of these for herself, and I said, ooh, can I have one? Because I think that would be perfect for my project bags in my bedroom next to my chair, or in my sewing room. So it is a hard-sided, hard-bottom, hard-sided vinyl tote. And indeed, I can fit the projects I'm working on can go right next to my chair now, all standing upright safely, because I can fit these bags in here. So that's very cool. I don't really want to have more than about 4 projects next to my chair, and it fits 4 easily. And I'm starting to sweat now because it's really warming up in here. So hurry it up, Deb. I did an FN Friday Night Fight Night with Bestitch Me. I know it's being really, doesn't like me moving around today. A couple of weeks ago, I guess, and I didn't win any of the fabrics I wanted, so I ended up writing to her and finding about her custom order program. It turns out you can custom order the things you want that you see on FN, and she sells them at that same price. You just have to wait for them until she has enough orders at that count to do a die, to run a lot. So I got, it took a while, but that's okay. This one was called Happy. And I am very happy with that. And then this one is called Autumn. Let's see if I fold it this way, if I can show it in 2 sides. I wouldn't have minded more green in mine, but I'm thrilled with it at any rate. I just have to decide what I'm gonna work on it. And then I bought a chart from, I'm not gonna be able to remember her name. Rats. Her work is just exquisite. So maybe I'll just mention this and then show it. I know I've shown it here. It's a sampler. Her work reminds me of the Véronique Angers pieces from France. They're just exquisite in their kind of tiny detail. And I bought it, I said, I know I put it on a video once, that if I found out my newest grandchild was going to be a boy, I was going to do this birth announcement tree that she's done that has little things hanging off of it, all in blue. And she did one all in pink and one all in blue. And I suppose if it was going to be a girl, I could have just combined colors, and in the whole gender fluid world, it can be any color I wanted. But I'm still traditional enough that the sampler that my camera turned off. I'm just traditional enough that if I have 4 grandsons, I would like to do this thing in you know, they can choose what gender they identify with when they're old enough to do that. But for their ages that they are right now, I'm going to treat myself to an all little boy tree sampler on my wall. And then we'll make adjustments if we need to. At any rate, Carolyn Zook was showing her, I think it's her Ga-Ron hollow pieces that she's doing all on the same fabric, which is the vanilla latte color. I don't know if it's from Be Stitch Me or from someone else, but the Stitch Me version of vanilla latte is absolutely delicious. And I decided this was the one I wanted to do that sampler on, so I bought this one. I honestly never thought I would get so excited about what is essentially a neutral background, but I did. I think that's gorgeous. I also joined the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop Floss of the Month Club, and this was my last shipment. I'm doing her special edition collection. I told her I like color saturation variegation. She said, oh, I think you'll be happy with this. She is sure right. So this time it was Desert Orange. I wonder if I can, I keep saying I need to create a board for myself. All right, Desert Orange. These are the fall colors. Dusky Tangerine. Old Town Copper. Red Apple. I don't know, am I the only one that thinks that Nancy has this incredible talent for reds? The Wicked Witch, and it's purple. I don't know if you can, it's not really picking it up. Not doing it justice. And Yellow Sunflower. So I got that. I also have been really trying to pull back on ordering charts. Isn't working. This one I saw every single piece of this that I have seen. I have fallen in love with, and I don't like doing alphabets. So, but I had to give in because it is just adorable. And I even ordered a piece of fabric from Be Stitch Me. This last Friday Night Fight Night, I won a piece that I thought would be good for this. And then I said, I didn't even check to see how big that piece of fabric was. I like the color. I'm not sure it's going to work for this, but that's okay. And then I just got in from Jen's Stitching Niche the Stitching with the Housewives Trick or Treat with the witch in the pumpkins. And I had ordered the chalkboard fabric from I think I ordered it from Stitchery Express. I think I did. Pretty sure I did. And it's not here yet, so, which is what makes me think that's where I ordered it, because Cindy's still short-staffed because of COVID and rearranging her whole storage, mail order storage business, and put up a new website instead of working through eBay. Now she has her own website, and she has really been working hard. But as anybody in the cross stitch world knows, where they made our LNSs shut down for COVID, a lot of us turned to the small shops on Etsy and online, and they just got swamped because they weren't allowed to bring in staff to handle the overage. So they have all really been hopping. I hope this has helped them. I feel sorry for the LNSs because it's so easy to do. If you don't have, I'm lucky. I have a local needle workshop right at the top of my hill. I live at the bottom of a hill, and right at the top of it is the next town, and they have a needle workshop there. But their focus is mainly needlepoint, And the song that their shop sings, each shop has its own voice. And the song that they sing is a much more traditional style than I enjoy. So I go there for floss quite a bit, but for the rest of my supplies, I was ordering online. So I think that's all I have to share. It is getting warm here. I would like to take this in and edit it. And still wishing everyone well. I hope you're masking up. I have a favorite restaurant that I've gone to for 30 years, 28 years. I think he's been in business. And so far, he had been doing delivery and takeout for a long time. And so he was able to make the tweaks that he needed to do to really keep his business going. His dining room was not the biggest part of his business anyway, so he shut it down, ramped up takeout and curbside pickup, and so he has done that pretty well. And as far as I've heard, no one with his restaurant has taken ill. My sister and her husband, ex-husband, and their son, that son, who's now 22, grew up at a different restaurant. And that was their favorite place to go. And the man that spoiled them there just died of COVID. So they're pretty shaken up about that. So be careful. We're a long way from getting through with this. And yeah, it's scary stuff. It's real scary stuff. Anyway, thanks for popping in, and hang in there, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.